What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's your boy, JH. I don't know why I just said that. It's John Henry here on the Backstage Open Highway podcast. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a while. Took a little break for the summer. But we are going to be back now. Bi-weekly basis. Great interviews, information, club shows, all things Open Highway, all things St. Louis, all things National Americana. Looking forward to it. We're really going to be exploring this here last couple months of this year and then into next year. So thank you for tuning in. We have a really good episode today. I'm excited. I got to talk with my friend Hunter Peebles. He's a local country singer-songwriter, band leader. Hunter Peebles and the Moonlighters. Just put out a sick new video from their show at Joe's, which I shared on the Open Highway Insiders. Check that out too if you want even more inside information than the normal social channels for Open Highway. Check out Open Highway Insiders. So that's going to be coming up a little bit later. Excited about that. Wanted to update everybody. We've got Alana Royale, 1019, great R&B singer. She's going to be at the Golden Record on October 19th. That's next week. Trying to have her on the pod next week. Got the schedule in. Hopefully it works. And then on 11/11, November 11th, it's about a month out from when we're recording, we have the Corblon, a great singer-songwriter from Canada. That show's selling really well. Golden Record, make sure you get tickets now. It's a very cool venue on Cherokee Street. Really nice, really cool vibe neighborhood. I don't know if you've spent any time there. I have. I like going to Bronco. I make records at Native Sound with Ben and David. What's up, guys? Wanted to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that I'm seeing about KDHX. The beloved and in conflict station right now. It's sad to see, obviously. A lot of division, a lot of fighting just to catch you up. The management of the station, we're putting in some new policies, and a large amount of DJs quit. Some were fired, which predicated the mass exodus. Obviously, that's the sad part. People that, have loved that station and worked on it for years. I'm sorry for them. I know a lot of the people that are on there. They've been supportive of me personally, and they've been supportive of this fest, and they're good people. And then on the other side, you have management, and I'm good friends with Gary, and he's a great guy. And I think that the people fighting here, unfortunately, would be good friends under any other circumstances, so I'm sad to see that. But I think KDHX can be a weapon. To me, there needs to be some consistency in their programming, continuing support of local shows. More heavily engaged KDHX for local shows would be great. But some of the cruelty that I'm seeing is just a bummer to see. And I know it's not everybody, but Gary getting some physical threats from people, I mean, that's not cool. That's not how you do shit. I guess at the end of the day, I hope they can work out something that can make as many folks happy there as possible. But at the same time, there's got to be some consistency in the program. And if you're a volunteer, you got to follow the rules. I mean, that's just the deal. I mean, that's how it is everywhere. So you need listeners to drive the station. If you had some consistency in the programming, I think that would help. I think typically the top yearly spins are 70. They're in the 70 spins range, which is great. Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, for especially as a local musician, I love hearing my stuff on KDHX. But in order to really, I think, grow into the power that it could be, the consistency of programming, continuous format weaved in with the individual shows, to me seems to be the key. That's what I've always thought. I love KDHX. I would host a show on there. I hope that the folks that are upset can find some peace with it. Yeah, just sorry to see this as a person in the music business here in St. Louis. It's a bummer to see. We are super fortunate to have Four Hands involved with Open Highway. Great brewery, really good folks, super supportive of us. And I know I say that a lot about support, but that's a big thing because we need community support for events that we're looking to grow this into a national vibe, and they've been great to us. So last week I met with them out at their new spot in the valley, Chesterfield Valley. Have you guys been there? It's sick. I highly recommend everybody checking out the Four Hands Brewery, Chesterfield location. A lot of games and stuff, good beer. There were people there at 11:30 already starting to getting their drink on at 11:30. It was cool to see. and just a nice spot. Highly recommend checking that out. Also, I had the opportunity. Our team and I went to the Armory in St. Louis downtown. Holy cow! The Armory. I hadn't been there before. It's insane. It's huge. It's all new. It's nice. The production is good. We're gonna have some shows there. We're gonna be doing some stuff. On the artist side, I'm gonna be playing there in November with an event that they're just launched. So hopefully on the Open Highway Club Show side, Open Highway Presents, you'll be seeing some more shows from us there. Very, very cool. Very, very cool venue in downtown St. Louis. Give it a shot. And another little bit of news. SG Goodman, Open Highway 2023 artist. I almost said the wrong year. She won Emerging Artist of the Year at the Americana Awards, which is a big deal in this world. So congratulations to her. Huge fan. She played right before Jason did last year. And, I guess it's still this year, really. But it feels like a year ago because music business years are like dog years. Had a great time sitting down on a Zoom interview with Hunter Peebles, great country songwriter, singer, band leader. Is a new band, Hunter Peebles and the Moonlighters. I mentioned this in the interview. He and I worked together on different shows, and he put out this video that he did with Brian McClellan at the Boom Boom Room, and it's great. Check it out. And I was watching that, and I was like, oh snap, he's good. He's good. I gotta talk to him on the pod. So he sat down, and we had an interview, and had a great time. I hope you enjoy it. Check it out. You have a new official band name.
I do. We got Hunter Peebles and the Moonlighters.
So a lot of faces I recognize here from St. Louis, obviously. And tell us a little bit about your band. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So when I first moved to St. Louis, my very first friend I ever had was Jacob Baxter, and he's been great to introduce me to a lot of other really cool, like-minded folks that play. And I think the first one I ever met was Britton. And I played several gigs with him over the years. And then not too long after that, met Rick. And then we went and recorded my first EP with Rick over at Gaslight about 3 years ago. And not too long after that, I met Matt. And so I've been playing with those three off and on over the last like 3-4 years. Always been really good buddies. And I always knew I wanted to start a band, and I wanted it to be like organic, not like old auditions and stuff. And so it was really easy. I always knew that those guys would be down for something like that, but I was always missing like a rhythm section, like a really solid rhythm section or a drummer. Right. And, Britton was such a great bass player already. And just over the last year, I started playing gigs with Drew Lance because he's got that every Wednesday over at Oyster Bar. Yeah. He would just hit me up randomly and be like, hey, you want to come and maybe play one of these Oyster Bar gigs with me? And I was like, oh, yeah, of course, because I've seen him all around. He plays so many gigs. He's probably the busiest musician I know. Yeah. And started playing with him and just as a duo, which I was weary at first because like I'd played like just duo stuff with a percussionist before. And if it's not like right in there, it can really derail things, but it's so easy with Drew. He's he's a really good listener. And back in March, Chad over at Venice Cafe needed a slot filled for like a Wednesday or Thursday night, and it would be like my first like solo gig there. And I was like, well, what if I just did it with the band? And so I already had Matt, Britton, and Rick all in the bag, and I was like, oh, well, let's introduce Drew since I've been playing with him. And we had like 2 rehearsals, and we all looked at each other and we're like, well, this is it. This is the band now.
Yeah. So you've been here for a bit now, and we've worked on some shows with like on the club side, and you're always great to work with. And then, one of the things that I really loved was that video that you shot with Brian McClellan at the Boom Room. I thought that turned out really great. I thought that the song was killer, and the performance, and it, honestly, it kind of made me see you in a bit of a new light in a way. Just seeing you with the full band. So wanted to say that I was a fan of that. And how was that experience?
Oh, it was awesome. Brian is a professional in every sense.
Hmm.
It's crazy that he can get the product that he does out of just, it's just this little studio pocket in his basement. I saw he's done some videos with you, and
Yeah.
those all look so good. And he's done so many with my other friends. And I was just like, man, those videos are like top notch. And so when he reached out to me to do one, I was jumping
Oh
at the
yeah.
bit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was, I
Yes.
just knew
Yes.
even if
The
I did
answer
a
is
cruddy
yes.
job, he was going to do a great job.
Yeah. Yeah, I've worked with him a bunch on some really really cool videos. Super talented guy, and for the people listening, we're talking about Brian McClellan, who does Blip Blap videos, and he did a really cool series with a lot of St. Louis musicians where um you'd come in and do a scheduled, you'd play a song and you record you doing it essentially live, and chop up a really really pro looking organic video. So we'll link that here since we're talking about it. But that was a
Yeah.
really cool thing, and I had fun doing that on with mine as well. But yeah, he's a
Uh-huh.
great guy. And that video, I mean, yeah, I mean, not to pump your tires too much, but it was a really good. It
Thanks, man.
was
Thank you.
yeah, it was really good. Um, I wanted to see, what do you think's a struggle that a musician and a writer like yourself, is facing today, kind of in music, in the music business?
Staying motivated is always an issue.
Yeah.
It's so easy to give yourself some time off from doing stuff, but you're always at your best when you're busy. But I would say booking stuff is definitely a challenge sometimes, lining everything up, especially when you're just getting started and you don't really have a name to work off of yet.
Right. Mhm.
Uh, but that's when we got to be doing a lot of work behind the scenes. Like we've been putting together a lot of content to get ready to show people so that when we do make our introduction into booking new places, we have lots of professionionally
Really
done
good
stuff
stuff.
to show
Yeah.
them. We did that show at Joe's Cafe in August, and we hired Andy Stevens to come out and shoot
Great.
the
Yeah, yeah.
whole first set. And he just gave us the edited video. We had Nathan Gilbert do
Yeah.
board recording of that
Great.
first set as well. And we've just been going song by song. And one of the songs we're really heavily considering releasing as a single is the one we sent off for Andy to edit. And I just saw it for the first time today. It looks great, and we're getting really excited to use that to send off the venues for booking. But definitely, just getting yourself in front of people who wouldn't see you otherwise is probably one of the largest challenges when you're just
Yeah.
starting out.
Well, and for your upcoming release, and to, the people listening too, other musicians here, like before you put it out on Spotify, release the singles for playlists.
Hmm.
Because once it's out, you can't get on the
Right.
playlist, and playlists are a massive driver for independent artists, or getting your song on Yellowstone, one of those two
Yeah.
things. Like,
Right. That
if
will
you could do that,
skyrocket you quickly.
yeah, you're working with a great group of people. You have a new project coming up.
I can. I work over at Maven Bath and Candle in Maplewood, and just making soap and candles and lotions and all your good self care stuff, hair stuff.
Let's talk
It's
about that, because we're all about
Yeah,
local.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And Kate, she's been running that business now for like a little over 16 years or so. Location now, right next door to the Crow's Nest
Okay, cool.
uh, on Manchester.
Working with working late nights, and also carrying a day job. Just you have a cool gig here with a cool local company.
Yeah, yeah, and it's so great to she was a friend of mine before I started working there, and she understood that I was a musician. She's hired many musicians before. She's really close with Adam Huckey from the
Oh
Funky
yeah,
Butt
he's
Brass
great. Yeah,
Band.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Adam's a great guy. He was one of
He's
my
a great
teachers in
guy.
college.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's been on the podcast with Funky Bud, and he's a great guy. So
yeah, he's cool.
the business that you're talking about, we'll get.
Maven Bath and Candle
Oh,
in
cool.
Maplewood.
Nice. Yeah. So for people here listening locally, there's a cool little area of the city, Maplewood. Check it out.
Never use any other kind of soap ever again.
Is it really? Is it awesome?
It's great, and they've got so many different fragrances to choose from and stuff. Real creative stuff.
That sounds good, because as I get older, I care more about soaps. I know that for sure.
Definitely.
You got to work harder
Got
to
to
look.
take care of that skin, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Have you ever thought about, you love music. Have you ever thought about quitting, giving up the dream of pursuing it? Have there ever been any obstacles?
Hasn't crossed my mind yet. Pretty much everything I've done has just been in order to continue doing it. I before I started working there, like on October last year, I didn't have any other kind of day job. I was just playing gigs full time. But I found that I was taking a lot more of like, the bar gigs that pay you more money.
Yeah.
But it was just like, it was like the cover bar circuit. And, it's so easy to get burnt out on that really quickly when you're
Hmm.
just doing nothing but that all the time. And I always knew I wanted to put more of a focus on like writing songs and like playing more like smaller sets, and
Right.
whether that's opening for an act or like part of a showcase, songwriter circles or anything like that. And I always wanted to put more focus into that, but I just had the hardest time being able to give up any gigs so that I could continue to have money to pay the
Right.
rent and stuff.
No, totally.
And I had this conversation with Jacob, and he was like, "Man," well, Jacob Baxter, and
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
like,
Who's
"Man,
who's a
really,
beauty.
all you." Oh yeah, he's been my friend since we were about 15 years old. He's a good boy. He'll
Yeah.
be my friend till we're old and
Yeah.
crockety.
Yeah. And
But
like, yeah, yeah.
yeah, no, but Jacob was telling me, he's like, "Man, all you gotta do, if you just got like some other little job that you just did during the day, you wouldn't have to worry so much about playing all these gigs all the time. You can maybe have some time to
Yeah.
focus on the other stuff." And it also keeps you busy when all you do is work at night and you have just nothing but the days to yourself. It becomes pretty easy to flop
Right.
around, and when you get a little bit busier, you're already moving. And I feel like I've just been more productive in the last year since I've introduced having just another thing going on.
I think so too. I think like an object in motion stays in motion, and
Right.
that's for people too. I think staying busy is good. For
Absolutely.
some people. I mean, obviously we need time to disconnect or whatever, but in general, like yeah, I prefer busy. All right, Hunter, we got sharing's caring. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I say that like these are like really difficult questions, but uh where's your favorite place to have lunch in St. Louis? Or
I gotta
places?
say that I gotta say the Stellar Hog over
Stellar
here on
Hog.
Leona, in Holly Hills neighborhood. Been knowing those folks now for a few years, and I've had barbecue in lots of places. I think that they're my favorite, man.
That's great.
Their
Yeah.
barbecue is incredible. They've got a really good smoked salami that I
Really?
haven't had anything like it anywhere else. They take their brisket and rib meat and they re-smoke it and serve that up on like two or three different kinds of sandwiches that they have, or you can get it on its own. Their ribs are so good. I'm personally a big fan of like a dry rub. I don't like
Yeah.
real wet ribs. And gosh, their barbecue sauce is good. They got two different kinds of barbecue sauce, but it's good barbecue when you're not reaching for the sauce at all.
Yeah. You sound like you know what you're talking about with this. Are you a big barbecue guy?
I wouldn't say I'm a big barbecue guy, but man, if I ever do get barbecue, Stellar Hog is where I go because I've had it a lot of places and nothing else really compares that well.
Do you have a dream instrument that you would one day love to own?
Man, I've always wanted to be able to pick up banjo. It'd be something that would be really cool to just pick on. But if I'm talking about a dream instrument that I could own one day specifically, I would love to have a pre-war Martin.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a big D28 pre-war.
Yeah, shoot. About the closest thing I've held to it is Nick Guskin's guitar.
Uh-huh.
He's got
Yeah.
like a 1944 or 45 0018 that his grandpa gave him.
Oh my gosh.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that thing is unreal.
That's really cool. Yeah. And so for the people listening out there, it's pre-war Martins are like holy grail among a lot of guitar players just because of the wood and the quality of the.
Worth like 50 grand or more.
Yeah, yeah. Crazy. Hank Williams, either the 18 or the D28, but they're amazing guitars. So. Cool.
Absolutely.
What's a song or record that is living in your head rent free?
Man, I have most consistently over the last couple of weeks have been going back to that Saint of Lost Causes album that Justin Townsend put out.
Yeah.
The one he put out
Yeah.
most recently before he passed away.
Yeah.
And the one track on that album I feel like I put on repeat a lot is "Frightened by the Sound."
Mm-hmm.
And we've been in the studio a lot. And there's Matt Maher plays pedal steel in my band, and I've just been obsessed with like the tone that comes out of the pedal steel on that record in particular. It's just echoey and kind of haunting, and
Yeah,
just has so much texture and character.
it's like a cinematic,
Yeah,
it's painting with sound. And
right.
I mean, he was such an incredible artist, and it's so sad.
Right.
We worked with him a bunch, and it was just a horrible situation. But like
Hmm.
his acoustic guitar playing is unbelievable too. Like
Crazy. So
it's
rhythmic.
really really crazy, and I would really recommend everybody check out Justin Townes Earl. I mean, anything by him is great. So
Anything. So many great albums.
yeah, really 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 amazing artist gone too soon. What is your favorite part? Mundane. What's a mundane activity that you just love as a musician?
Man, I think probably my most favorite part about like playing that's like kind of mundane when you're getting ready to play a gig and you see either people you know or friends of yours like forming plans around coming to see you, and it's not like they're doing you a favor. They're doing it because they know it's a good time and they're going to have a good time. It's not like they're doing you a favor by doing that and coming out to your shows. They're just genuinely making plans around it because they know it's fun. Organic. I don't know. Does that sound corny?
I don't think it sounds corny. I think it sounds.
Yeah.
I think that probably deep down, I mean, that's what every aspiring musician and that has the dreams of having people come see them is like. That's what you want. I mean, you want your community coming out and your friends, and then
Yeah.
that turns into even more, and then you start not recognizing people. Hopefully,
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
no, but I think that's a great answer and a great way to cap this off. Yeah, thanks for sitting down with us. Us, it's
Absolutely.
just me, but it's us
Us and
being
the viewers.
the metaphorical audience. Yeah, tell us about what you have going on coming up, or anything in particular that you want to plug.
Yeah. So we've been in the studio since the beginning of the summer at Fat Buddha with Zach Gibbons,
Mm-hmm.
recording 4 songs for our first installment of maybe a 2-part EP. I've got about 6 or 7 more that I want to go back in and record, and we got plans to do that maybe in January, early January, late December. But we're hoping to get these songs out before the end of the year. First single, hopefully by the beginning of next month. We just got all the pictures taken for it. Just about there on all the mixes. 2 of them are done. The other 2 need to just have a couple more tweaks. Very excited to put that music out. It'll be the first release as the band. And we're about to ready to put out that video I was just telling you about earlier.
Right.
That's going to be really exciting. And we got some road shows coming up in the beginning of December. On November 30th, we're going to kick off a weekend run at Tim's Chrome Bar with my buddy from Tulsa, Carl Carbonell, and his which is Carl Carbonell and the Salty Dogs, and we'll be playing at Thelma's Peach and the Colony on December 1st and 2nd.
Nice little jaunt outside of the state is always good, and with the new
Absolutely.
record, that should be helping. Yeah. Well, it was great talking with you. Thanks for doing it, and
Absolutely.
we'll see you down the line for sure.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, John.
All right, thanks. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did doing it. Really cool guy, easy to talk to, good to work with, great musician. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check out the link to the new Joe's video that Hunter and the Moonlighters just put out. It's going to be linked below. Check out his music, give him a listen. Remember, every time you listen to an independent artist, they get half a penny. And if you listen to it 1,000,000 times, that may add up to $1. Support independent musicians. Support independent music festivals. That's a shameless plug. Thanks for coming. Hope you enjoyed this interview. Like I said, we'll be back here every 2 weeks with a new one. So looking forward to that. And thanks for listening to Backstage at Open Highway. John Henry, peace.